What if everything we thought we knew about the ending of Deltarune was actually a lie? What if the main route is not the normal way to play, but rather a last-ditch effort to stop the disaster that already happened in the weird route? Today, we're going to set aside all the wild guesses and take a closer look at the actual clues that are hidden in the game. From the fact that Sansa's house is secretly a Dark World hub, to the terrifying truth about who the Knight really is. Let's get into the ultimate connected Deltarune Endgame theory. First of all, the final battle doesn't go down like everyone thinks. It's going to be a full-on war between the Fun Gang and who I like to call the Terror Squad. We know that the vessel from Chapter 1 got thrown away, but Toby Fox didn't just get rid of it. Inside B, the player messed up the world and caused the humus, the roaring. During this apocalypse, Chris and Noelle will basically merge together to form the Roaring Knight. Think about it. There's a song in the game called Black Knife. Who wields a knife? Chris. Who uses super sharp and super powerful magic? Noelle. It gets even worse. There's a picture in the game where a young Chris used to wear a red hat with plastic horns just to blend in with their monster friends. If Chris and Noelle became one, the new person will have the exact same horns and will be made out of some kind of trauma that the roaring was. You didn't stop the night. Your choice is what made them. But what happens when the bad world that is Side B eventually comes to an end? Toby Fox said that there's only one ending. But if we can actually destroy the world, how is that possible? Well, the answer is that when the world from the weird route is destroyed, it just loops back and becomes part of the main story. When the world falls apart, Gaster steps in and takes the player's soul out of the ruined world and puts it back at the very beginning of Chapter 1. That's why Rouse already knows all about the prophecy. It's because that the disaster the prophecy talks about has already happened in a previous loop. That's why the main story essentially is a way to prevent the disaster that you originally caused. This forms a connection between two big pieces of evidence in the game. Sansa's shop in Deltarune is essentially a house that was already owned by someone else. Grillby. The word Grillby's is scratched out of the sign. Sans didn't build this place. He just took over a building that used to belong to someone named Grillby. So, Deltarune is actually a prequel to Undertale. When the world is in big trouble, Sans has to leave, either by going to the Dark World, or getting mixed up in Gaster's time-traveling mess, or maybe the machine that we see in Undertale. And when he go to Snowdin, he brings some of his old life with him, which is why he's so down on things. He's not just a funny skeleton, he's a survivor who lost his home. But why is Papyrus locked inside his house? That doesn't sound like someone he would do, unless the inside of the house is not what it seems. There are a few hints in the game that point to the idea that Sans' house is actually a part of the Dark World. It has a secret, otherworldly entrance that the Knight can use to move around Hometown without being seen. This is exactly like the mysterious room behind Sans' house in Undertale, which has weird blueprints and strange equipment. His house is at the center of the time distortions. This also explains why the Knight is kidnapping grown-ups instead of teenagers. They're not just random teenagers playing a game, they're after the people who might figure out who the Knight is. Asgore used to work with the current mayor of the police force. He was let go after a big incident involving disappearance. So, the mayor knows all about Asgore's secrets. If Asgore stumbles upon the truth and gets pulled into a dark world, the mayor will follow him to investigate. The Knight isn't after the kids because they don't know any better. They're silencing the only people who can identify the Knight and stop what they're doing. When you look strictly at the hard facts, the crossed out signs, the locked doors, and the town's history, Deltarune stops looking like a random adventure and starts looking like a massive, interconnected puzzle. But what do you think? Is Sans' house the ultimate portal, and will Carol be the next adult to vanish into the dark? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button for more deep lore breakdowns, and I'll see you in the next video. Tozad out.